Owl House is a fantasy comedy series that premiered on the Disney Channel in 2020. With 3 seasons and 43 episodes, it's known for its great humor and intriguing plot twists. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start by understanding a little background. Luz Noceda is a creative and fearless girl who loves fantasies. One day, she unexpectedly goes to another magical world through a portal, where she finds Eda Clawthorne, a witch who becomes Luz's mentor. She also gets to know about King Eda's sidekick, who's living at Eda's place, the Owl House located in Boiling Isles. Luz's love for the fantasy world forces her to start living in that magical world. There are many things to cover, and we will do them along with the episodes. Now let's start with episode 1 of the series. The series starts with the episode A Lying Witch and a Warden. We see Luz Noceda at her school's principal's office with her mother, Camila, after making trouble and mischief with live snakes. She decides to send her to a reality check summer camp to make her behave more normally, as Luz is creative but goes wild and uncontrollable sometimes. Her favorite book, The Good Witch Azura, somehow gets stolen by an owl while she is waiting for the bus to go to camp. So she starts chasing the owl and ends up in a house where she gets transported to another location, a weird tent with weird stuff. When she finds a woman selling those weird items, she tries to burn Luz's book, thinking it's trash. Luz snatches it and tries to run back, but she closes the portal. The lady introduces herself as Eda the Owl Lady, who is a witch selling stuff from humans' worlds to make a living. Eda takes a liking to Luz when she starts a TV with batteries. She takes Luz to her house on her owl staff. After a while, she introduces her roommate King, a small but lovely creature known as Titan. Eda tells that he was a former demon king whose crown was stolen by the Warden Wrath. Eda asks Luz to help them retrieve the crown, which is locked away behind a magical force and only humans can interact with it. Luz accepts to help them, and together they travel to the Conformatorium, a place full of prisoners. They reach the tower and retrieve King's crown, but they are attacked by Warden Wrath. Turns out he actually wants her to go out with him, but they all together defeat him and free the prisoners. Luz realizes this world is perfect for a fantasy lover like her, and she decides to stay in it by becoming Eda's pupil. The first episode ends with Luz telling her mother that she is liking this summer camp. In the next episode, Luz is doing her task of selling items with King as Eda's apprentice. She meets a wizard, Eda, who tells her about a sacred quest and a prophecy of a girl who will claim the celestial staff, a staff only a chosen one can wield, and save the Isles from ancient evil. When Luz talks about this chosen girl's quest with Eda and King, they start laughing. On this, Luz decides to go alone on this quest so she can prove to them that she's the chosen one. During the adventure, she finds weird creatures. She finally retrieves the staff, and after retrieving it, everyone becomes evil and starts attacking her. She then realizes that she has been tricked, but Eda and King arrive and save her from Adagast. In the end, Luz feels hurt and disappointed, and Eda cheers and guides her to not rely on prophecies, but to make her own path. Damn, if she needs to get out of her delusions, she's not the one. In the next episode, Luz feels down after getting annoyed by Eda's way of teaching magic. She decides to go to Hexide Academy and learn magic from there. She meets a witch student there who is unable to control her magical creatures. Luz decides to help her by cosplaying as her magical creature. Willow also introduces Luz to her friend, Gus. They eventually become successful in portraying that Willow can control her creature, but after Amity, a top student whose badge is now given to Willow, becomes suspicious of them. Eda gets worried when she realizes Luz is gone, and when she sees Luz at the school, she feels she lost her student and goes home disappointed, while somehow Amity finds out Luz isn't a magical creature and reports to the principal. The principal tries to capture them but fails when Willow finally reveals her true magical power, which even impresses the principal, and they escape to Eda's place. In the end, Luz is now banned from the academy, but she realizes that she has a sincere teacher. Catching up to the next episode of The Intruder, Luz wants Eda to teach her magic. She eventually agrees to teach her, and she tries to teach her light magic. She also tells her that witches are capable of doing magic because of a sac connected to their hearts. While teaching her, Eda gets tired of exhaustion and sleeps. King tells Luz that Eda's magic comes from an elixir bottle, and if she drinks it, she might get magical powers, but she breaks it accidentally. They see a terrifying black shadow creature that even attacks Hootie, the Owl House's protector. King and Luz decide to hunt it down. Later, they find out that the creature is actually Eda, and she needs that elixir to control that curse. Eda gets a clue that she can't resist light, and she finally learns to cast light spells. She, with the help of King, casts a huge light spell and breaks Eda's curse. In the end, Eda tells the mystery. She was cursed when she was younger, and to control her curse, she has to drink the elixir. In the next episode, Luz, Eda, and King go to the convention center. Eda didn't want to, but after Luz insisted, she came. Luz enjoys seeing the convention, but after some time, the special guest is revealed. Lilith, the sister of Eda. She isn't happy to see her, so she leaves. Luz sees Amity and tries to go along with her, but she doesn't want her to talk with her and even bullies King. Luz gets heated up and challenges Amity for a witch duel. Luz tells Eda about the duel while she's talking to her sister, and then she starts training her for the duel. The duel between Luz and Amity starts, and eventually everyone finds both of them cheating as Eda and Lilith were helping their students. On this, the sisters start fighting with each other, and Luz goes to reconcile with Amity. In the end, Luz and Amity make up, and Eda runs after teasing her sister. In the episode Lost in Language, Luz is returning some books that Eda asked her to, and she finds Amity too there. She tries to befriend her but fails as Luz gets the cold shoulder from Amity once again. After a while, Luz meets Amity's older twin siblings, Amara and Edric, and they invite her for some fun around the library, and they cause a big mischief until they get kicked out by Amity after she gets angry. They invite Luz to join them in sneaking into the library at night. Luz accepts it, thinking she can befriend Amity after befriending her siblings. In the evening, they meet up and break in the library, causing a lot of chaos. They even break into Amity's secret room, where Luz finds out that Amity's favorite good is also the good witch Azura. But when Amity comes back and sees them in her room, she feels disappointed. Luz apologizes to her, but she refuses to listen. At this moment, they get captured by a big monster who tries to sew them into a book, but Amity somehow escapes and helps Luz defeat him. Amity accepts her cold behavior and will start her friendship with her from scratch again. Moving forward to the next episode, a new student of the Human Appreciation Society, Bartholomew, wants to be the president and challenges Gus for it. Gus goes to Luz and asks her to help him. Eda reminds him of the ban Luz still has that we discussed in episode 3. But Gus lies to Luz and says that he has lifted the ban on her. Gus sneaks Luz into Hexside in disguise. He keeps her hidden and saves his lie, while Eda decides to talk to Principal Bump about letting Luz join Hexside, and he agrees. But Bartholomew tells the authorities about Luz. However, he ends up with them in a room. Gus admits he lied to Luz and she forgives him. They team up with Bartholomew to escape and create a lot of mayhem. After the principal finally agrees to enroll her, she arrives by destroying a door and creating chaos. The principal thinks she caused this chaos and rejects her, but Gus explains the situation and believes Luz is innocent. He gives Eda permission to enroll, and Bartholomew becomes the new president of the Hayes. Eda looks at her memories while she was a student at Hexside, and the episode concludes here. In the episode Escape of the Policeman, Luz is at a rugby game while Eda's curse gets worse and she turns into a beast again. But this time she didn't go berserk. She was listening to King's command, who decides to use her against the kindergartners. Luz arrives and she wants to borrow Eda's staff. King hides Eda and gives Luz her staff. After a while, King takes Eda to a playground and scares the kids with Eda's current form and reclaims the slide. I think he's not in his senses. Okay, back to the topic. Eda goes berserk. King tries to make her normal again by feeding her elixir, but she doesn't recover and even tries to attack him. King gets saved by Animal Control, who captures Eda. King tries to rescue her, apologizes for everything, and she gets back to normal after King talks with her. At the end of this episode, everyone goes home and Eda now realizes that her elixir is no longer working on her curse, which is very worrying for her. Continuing the episode Adventures in the Elements, Luz is happy and excited to attend the Hexside and wants to learn his second spell now. She goes to the market to get her Azura book from Amity, where she finds out that if she doesn't know 2 spells, she'll be enrolled in the baby class, and she lies that she knows 2 spells. Later, she runs to Eda to teach her another spell. Eda takes Luz to the witch arena to teach her a new spell, where she runs into Amity and her siblings. Luz struggles with understanding anything, and after getting disappointed, she accidentally disturbs a slither beast by casting fire from Amity's wand. The beast attacks them and captures them, but Eda learns a new ice spell, and they altogether defeat the beast. The episode ends with Eda being happy that she can now be in the same class as Amity. The episode The First Day starts with Luz, who's worried about her entrance exam and wants to perform better than she did at her old school, while Eda is chill and encourages her to not worry and make a good impression. She finally passes the exam, and Amity, Gus, and Willow congratulate her on passing. Principal Bump assigns her to the potion track while she wants to be in detention for mixing magic. In detention, Luz makes new friends, Viney, Gerbo, and Barkus, who teach her new secrets to learn magic. However, they break their friendship with her over a misunderstanding. Meanwhile, a monster named Basilisk appears who has drained the magic of students, including Principal Bump, Amity, Amelia, and other witches. Luz, Gus, and Willow together defeat Basilisk and bring the magic back, which makes Principal Bump so impressed that he allows Luz to study in multiple tracks as her reward. Moving on to the episode Understanding Willow, Amity and her friend Basha are celebrating Skara, Basha's friend's birthday party. They see Willow and Luz together and think it's weird that Willow is getting along with a human. Later, We came to know through Willow's that once Amity and Willow were best friends. Amity sees Willow's memories through magic and mistakenly destroys her memories. She's a completely dumb person now. With the help of Eda's magic, Amity and Luz go to Willow's mind to fix the mess they created and make her normal again. Meanwhile, Eda and King are competing with each other to be the ones Gus picks for his journalism project interview. Luz and Amity encounter weird things there, like a pink monster similarly hued to the flames and another monster called Inner Willow who guards her memories. Inner Willow makes them see Willow's hard past, which makes Amity sad. She promises she won't be rude and bully her again, and nobody will bully her again. In the end, Willow becomes normal again, and Gus chooses Hootie instead of Willow. Catching up to the next episode, Luz is practicing her new magic spell and also in confusion about whether she should tell her mom about this world or not when she texts her, asking about camp life. In school, she sees that Hexside is kind of different today, and Willow tells her about Grom. She thinks that Grom is prom in the magical world and says she wants to be Grom Queen. But suddenly, the Grom Queen gets announced as Amity. Amity is not happy to be the Grom Queen, and she tells Luz that Grom isn't a dance party. It's an event where the Grom Queen has to fight a monster called Grometheus the Fearbringer. Luz encourages her and decides to take Amity's place as Grom Queen to help her friend. They train together to fight Grom. Finally, the Grom Mag starts and Grometheus appears, who has the ability to take the form of his enemy's fear. Grometheus scares Luz by becoming her mom. At the end, Amity and Luz together defeat Grometheus by doing a magical Grom dance, which is actually a prom dance. The episode ends with Luz going back to the Owl House and texting her mom that she is doing fine in the camp. In the episode Wing It Like Witches, Willow gets constantly bullied by Boscia and her friends. This makes Luz very angry, and she decides to challenge Boscia to a rugby match on Willow's behalf. She starts training Willow and Gus, and after this training session, Luz and Amity have a deep conversation about Amity's past disastrous experience with Grudgeby. We even see Amity blushing, indicating Amity's crush on Luz. While at home, Eda meets with her sister Lilith, who comes with an arrest warrant, but Eda refuses to go. Lilith gets mad and starts talking about her days as a Grudgeby player. On this, Eda challenges her to a match. If Lilith wins, Eda will surrender herself to the Emperor's Coven without any battle. They start the game outside the house with Hootie as the referee. The first match comes to an end as a tie, but Eda wins the last game and Lilith then leaves but promises to return. The game between Boscia and Luz starts, and during the game, Luz learns the fire spell. The first match comes as a tie, but the next match is won by Boscia's team. However, Willow earns respect in everyone's heart, even her rivals. The episode concludes with Luz, Gus, and Willow gathering around Amity, who has damaged her leg and enjoying a heartfelt moment. Moving forward to episode 18, Lilith is getting orders from Kikimora, a former assistant of Emperor Belos, who issues her orders to other followers in or outside of the Emperor's Coven. Kikimora is telling Lilith to capture her sister, Eda. Later on in the day, Lilith, as the leader of the Emperor's Coven, tries to raid the Owl House in an attempt to seize Eda, but Hootie steps in and humiliates her. But suddenly, Eda's curse comes and makes her go berserk, and she takes many bottles of elixir to come back to her normal form. Eda confesses that her curse is getting worse and that she's taking so much elixir to stay normal. Luz, worried about her mentor, goes to school, where she finds out about the trip to the Emperor's castle. It catches Luz's interest when she learns that she can obtain a magical hat called the Healing Hat, which can cure any sickness and uplift any curse. While they are going to the castle, Willow tells Luz that Emperor Belos is the most powerful witch. After they arrive at the castle, Kikimora leads the students and tells them about past stories and about Emperor Belos. Luz sees Lilith and starts following her secretly, and she overhears that Belos will kick Lilith out of the Emperor's Coven if she doesn't capture Eda soon. When the Hexside field trip ends and everyone leaves for home, Luz hides and stays behind so she can retrieve the Healing Hat and cure Eda's curse. However, she finds that Gus and Willow are also going to help her. They also reveal that they already knew about Eda's curse. Eda, with the help of her friends, almost obtains the hat. However, Lilith finds them and destroys the cat. Lilith captures Luz in a magical bubble and sends Eda about this message. Eda comes to the castle furiously, which we had never seen before, and we see an amazing fight between the sisters. Lilith reveals that she was the one who cursed Eda and eventually tries to push Luz into a pit full of spikes. While saving Luz Eda, she uses all of her magic and becomes the Owl Beast. Lilith captures the Owl Beast and tells Lilith to go back to her world. She goes back to the Owl House and tells everyone about this while crying. Here, the episode ends. The next and last episode of Season 1 starts with King explaining the history of Belos and the Boiling Isles to Luz. They make a decision to save Eda no matter how powerful the Emperor is. Meanwhile, Eda is getting tortured by Bellows. Luz gets the location of Eda after beating Warden Wrath, and when she finally makes it to Eda's cell room, she finds her in a cage. Eda gives her the key to the portal and tells her to go back to her world. Lilith, when the king arrives, Luz starts a fight with her for what she did, but she accidentally throws her into the human realm. Lilith tells Luz about her past, how Eda and Lilith used to be best buddies, and why she cursed Eda. Luz and King team up with Lilith, who wants to save her sister now. After a series of mayhem and fighting, Eda finally gets saved and flees from prison with Lilith, Luz, and King. Eda becomes normal after her sister shares her pain from magic, but now both of them are unable to use magic. However, Luz promises to teach her magic the way she does it. Season 1 ends with Bellows telling Kikimora not to worry, as one of his guards will keep an eye on them. In the first episode of Season 2, after Luz destroyed the portal, they resorted to bounty hunting for income. Luz tracks down a demon named Garlog, only to find out that he's tiny and non-threatening. King eats Garlog, and Luz chases after him. Luz sends her mom a video message explaining Eda's weakened magic and Lilith's betrayal of Emperor Bellows, and that they have taken bounty hunting as a job. Luz promises to study magic to return home, but her messages fail to be sent. They head to the market to cash in their bounty, but only get half a snail as a reward, resulting in embarrassment, especially for Eda, known for losing her magic. Luz suggests they should take a big bounty, but Eda refuses. Lilith, wanting to make up for past mistakes, decides to make a scrying potion to spy on the Emperor's castle without Eda's knowledge. Hootie insists on helping, but Lilith refuses. Meanwhile, Luz and King go on a bounty hunt at sea. They discover that they are on an Emperor's ship and King is captured. Eda, revealed as the thief, opposes Luz. The Golden Guard demands either they slay the Selkadomus or face consequences. Luz takes up the challenge. Luz dives down into this Selkadomus lair. They discover that the creature is protecting its baby. Together, they deceive the Golden Guard with magic, sparing the Selkadomus and avoiding trouble. Meanwhile, Lilith, seeking ingredients for a potion, struggles against fire bees. Hootie rescues her, and back at the Owl House, Lilith completes the scrying potion. As everyone returns home, Lilith offers the potion, and they order takeout. Little do they know, Emperor Bellows is rebuilding the portal door and appears to be almost finished with it. In the next episode, late at night, Alador and Odalia, the parents of Amity, show their latest invention, the Abomination, to the investors. Their daughter Amity reminds them to make the presentation look good. However, when the Abomination threatens to step on a picture from Grom, Amity destroys it instead, which causes all the investors to leave. Odalia is furious but realizes that Amity is distracted. The next day, Luz teaches Eda and Lilith glyph magic. Eda, impatient to regain her powers, experiments with different combinations, which results in her glyph being blown up. Hootie interrupts, taking Luz to school, leaving the sisters to study under King. Eda ignores Lilith's advice and continues her experiments. Lilith sends King to supervise Eda. At school, Luz is greeted by her friends Willow and Gus. Ambi also greets her with a homemade fairy pie. The Blight parents force Principal Bump to expel Luz, Willow, and Gus, blaming them for Amity's distraction and endangering other Hexside students. Ambi remains silent, leading to their expulsion, and her classes double as a punishment. Ambi finds out her mother has taken Luz to Blight Industries. At the presentation, Luz faces abomination-based weapons. Amity, realizing her mistake, tries to help. When the Blights threaten Luz's life, Amity stands up to her parents, protecting Luz. They pretend to get knocked out by the Abomination, successfully impressing the investors and ensuring their return to Hexside. Meanwhile, Eda struggles with her glyph experiments, causing explosions. Lilith, who is doing much better, helps resolve the situation. Lilith explains the importance of specific glyph combinations, and King concludes that Luz may have already found all the glyphs. When Luz returns home exhausted, the sisters tell her their findings. Meanwhile, at Blight Industries, Alador and Odalia are visited by the Golden Guard, who announces that none of their investors will get their abominations as Emperor Bellows has decided to purchase their entire stock for himself since he doesn't like citizens owning their own private armies. In this episode of The Owl House, we start with a flashback showing a younger Eda seeking shelter in a temple during a storm. In the present, Luz, Lilith, and King are researching glyph combinations when King claims that he was once the king of demons. To prove his story, they go on a journey to an island where the king believes his castle is. Upon reaching the island, they discover a hidden tower filled with mysterious symbols. In the tower, they encounter strange creatures attacking them. Eda rescues them and reveals the true story of finding King as a pet on the island. King, heartbroken by the realization that his memories were not real, runs away from the group. King regains his memories, revealing that when he was inside the chamber's egg, he heard a deep roar. He was too small to comprehend it and went back to sleep. After waking up, he hatched and was taken away by the tower's guardian creature. The roar he heard meant son, and the creature was his guardian, who believed that others posed a threat to King. King manages to regain control over the creature named Jean-Luc and expresses his desire to find his father. Luz promises to help him with this task. Upon returning to the Owl House, Luz helps King repair his broken horn, and King engraves the tower's symbol onto his collar, thinking that it might be his name. King questions whether he should still be called King, but Luz reassures him that he will always be the king of her heart. Bito, did you know that some fans used to think that King is Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls and both are the same person because of a shared voice actor and some visual similarities? However, they got debunked by the creator. Moving on to the next episode, we learn about Eda's past. 30 years ago, she had a curse that turned her into a beast. Her mother wanted a cure, but the healers had never seen such a curse before. Eda, feeling horrified, escapes through a portal to the human realm. Her mother becomes upset but declares that she will find a cure for her. In the present, Eda tells Luz about the portal, but their talk is interrupted when they hear Lilith scream. Her curse flares up on her arms and Eda helps her stop the curse. Suddenly, Gwendolyn, Eda, and Lilith's mom appears, claiming to have found a cure after 30 years. Eda, not believing it due to past failures, says no. Luz, wanting to go back to the human realm, agrees to help Gwendolyn if she gives her information. They visit a curse expert, Master Wortlop, who promises a cure. Gwendolyn trades valuable things for a book, not knowing that Wortlop is a scam. Luz discovers the truth, causing a problem with Gwendolyn. Lilith transforms during a cure attempt, causing chaos. Gwendolyn exposes his scam. She regrets falling for scams and decides to help her daughters. Eda regains control and Gwendolyn tells Luz and King to use potions. The sisters become normal and Gwendolyn says sorry for not being there. Lilith decides to reconnect with her family, leaving with Gwendolyn. Back at the Owl House, Hootie is sad about Lilith leaving. Gwendolyn tells Luz about humans crossing into the Boiling Isles. She advises Luz to check the library for more information. As Lilith and Gwendolyn leave, Luz promises to return home soon. In the human realm, Camilla, Luz's mom, is seen crying and someone comforts her, which turns out to be another Luz. In the following episode, Gus feels sad because he made a mistake performing illusion magic. Luz tries to help him feel better, but the next day, Gus feels worse. Luz needs help with her research, so she asks Gus for his library card. They want to find information about a human who lived on the Boiling Isles. Gus knows Luz also wants to visit Amity secretly. On the way, Gus, feeling inferior, shares that his illusion magic is not as useful as other types of magic. They meet students from Glandis High who impress Gus. These students, Brya, Gavin, and Angmar, are on a quest for powerful relics called Galdor Stones. Gus joins them, wanting to prove himself. While Gus faces challenges, Luz and Amity search for a diary. Amity, feeling mixed about Luz's impact, helps her in the forbidden stacks, risking her job. Gus tries to fit in with the Glandis High students, but Luz faces challenges finding the diary. She confronts Malthus to save Amity's job. Gus' plan works, and the Glandis High students leave. Amity talks to her sister about her feelings for Luz. When Luz arrives at Blight Manor, Amity surprises her with a new look, and they both blush. Amity explains a mouse's ability to replay diary entries. Even with the setback, Luz is excited to learn about humans' experiences. Amity, touched by Luz's actions, kisses her on the cheek, causing Luz to collapse from the shock. In this episode of the Owl House, Emperor Bellows calls a secret meeting with the Coven leaders to discuss the Day of Unity, where the demon and human realms will merge. Bellows is in pain, and it's revealed that he needs more magic from Palisman to sustain himself. The Golden Guard, Bellows' nephew, offers to help, but Bellows warns him against it. At Hexside, it's Palisman pairing day, where students get their magical staff and Palisman. Luz struggles to connect with a Palisman, and the Bat Queen brings stolen Palisman for the students. Luz, accidentally aboard an airship with the Golden Guard, crashes and they're pursued by Kikimora, a member of the Emperor's Coven. Luz and the Golden Guard work together to recover the stolen Palisman. During their mission, Luz learns about the Golden Guard's background and he reveals his name is Hunter. They successfully retrieve the Palisman but face betrayal from Hunter, who then saves Luz from Kikimora. Back at the Owl House, Luz despairs over not having a Palisman until Eda and King surprise her with stolen Palistrum wood to carve her own. Hunter returns to Emperor Bellows, hiding the truth about his involvement. Bellows forgives him and summons a tendril. Hunter hides his collaboration with Luz, and at the episode's end, he is chosen by a Cardinal Palisman. Hunter is hesitant because it is not safe for him, but he accepts him as his Palisman. Eda, Luz, and King go through some changes. Eda feels a bit alone and overhears Luz and King talking about their future plans. King wants to share something important but hesitates. Eda, trying to distract herself, finds her old musical instrument. However, her cursed magic causes problems, making her feel disappointed. Luz and King decide to join the Grand Prix, a magical race. At the same time, Eda gets involved with a group called the Bards Against the Throne, Bates who oppose the Emperor. They discover some important information about the Emperor's plans for the Day of Unity, which causes them to take action against his rule. The next day, the Grand Prix begins. The Grand Prix becomes important for Luz and especially for King, who wants to send a message to his father. But things don't go as planned in the race, leaving King upset. Eda, torn between supporting King and Luz, gets more involved with the Bats. The Bats, led by Rain Whispers, fall into a trap set by the Emperor's forces. Eda and Rain try to escape using their magic, but they face a difficult situation. Despite race setbacks, King manages to share that he is legally changing his name to King Clawthorne. Eda and Luz both burst into tears. Rain is caught by Kikimora and her abominants. Darius had a plan to keep Rain alive for Emperor Belos. Kikimora used her special eye to capture Rain with her coven mark and put them in a deep sleep. The following episode begins with Hooty at the living house, feeling unimportant after receiving a letter from Lilith. Determined to prove his worth, Hooty decides to help his friends with their problems. First, Hooty attempts to assist King in discovering his demon type. Hooty follows the king and takes him to the tower, where he gives him a presentation on demon puberty. King feels more sad after Hooty's attempt because his identity still remains a mystery. Next, Hooty tries to help Eda get some rest by using sleeping nettles, but ends up intensifying her dreams. Eda faces her past, including the incident where she accidentally attacked her father, Eda Clawthorne, turning into the Owl Beast. Through the dream, Eda makes peace with her past, leading to a transformative moment. Thinking he made everything worse, Hooty again pulls away in tears. Hooty's third attempt involves helping Luz express her feelings for Amity. He sets up a romantic tunnel of love, but it only causes embarrassment and misunderstandings between Luz and Amity. Hooty, who believes you messed up again, cries hysterically. In an attempt to break away from the Owl House, he unknowingly puts the house in danger. Luz reveals that Hooty was trying to help her ask Amity out. This stops Hooty's breakdown, and Luz successfully asks Amity to be her girlfriend, which she accepts. The episode concludes with Luz and Amity holding hands in a heart-shaped crater created by Hooty. Hooty, proud of his unusual contributions, finishes a letter to Lilith and encounters a stranger with a letter for King. Hooty sees a bug crawl in on the letter and accidentally eats them both. In Eclipse Lake, Emperor Belos tries to open a portal to the human realm, but it breaks since he's missing an ingredient. Hunter is spying on Belos, and they talk about their plans. Meanwhile, Amity takes charge of securing the Owl House because Luz is sick. Luz, despite being unwell, tries to warn her friends about danger using a crystal ball. Amity, Eda, King, and Hunter go on an adventure to find Titan's blood at Eclipse Lake. Amity gets confusing texts from Luz, and Hunter helps her understand that Luz is worried. The group faces danger in mine tunnels, with Kikimora chasing them. Amity gets captured, and Hunter and Eda face tough situations. At Eclipse Lake, they discover that it's empty, and Hunter is desperate to find Titan's blood. A magical duel happens between Amity and Hunter for the key. Amity, stuck between winning and protecting Luz, gives up the key. Hunter leaves with a sense of acknowledgement for Amity's efforts. Back at the Owl House, Luz, now better, discovers Eda stuck in her harpy form. Amity reveals a stained glove, showing the mission was a success. The episode ends with Hunter reflecting on his actions, and Luz is happy to see Amity safe. This episode begins with Luz packing up her room at the Noceda residence. Camilla, her mother, expresses concern over her change in personality and loss of creativity. The scene shifts to them rescuing a rabbit caught in a trap, revealing a string of such incidents. Camilla cooks Maduros as a gesture of comfort, but Luz seems distant. Unexpectedly, the real Luz emerges from a mirror. This leads to a revelation of Luz's recent adventure in building a portal door on the Boiling Isles with Eda, King, and Hooty. Luz aims to beat Emperor Belos to accessing the human realm, discovering the key contains Titan's blood. With the portal, Luz goes on a journey, finding herself in a strange dimension with floating cubes. Using the cubes, Luz navigates various mirrors, discovering her doppelganger, V, who transforms into a basilisk. V explains her extinct species revival by Belos and her escape to the human realm. She assumes Luz's identity and shares her struggles. Luz convinces V to seek magical items from Eda's belongings for her shape-shifting abilities. As V searches for magic cards, she encounters high schoolers from Reality Check Summer Camp. V's backstory unfolds, revealing her extinction and escape. At the Gregesfield Historical Society Museum, V falls into a conspiracy theorist's trap, exposing her true form. Luz contacts Camilla through a reflective surface, telling her to save V. Camilla realizes that there's an imposter at home. Fearing for Luz's safety, she defeats the conspiracist and frees V. Back home, V tearfully thanks Luz and Camilla pleads for her to stay in the human realm when she comes back. As Luz returns to the Boiling Isles, a heart-wrenching moment occurs between her and Camilla in the rain. The episode concludes with Luz reuniting with Eda, King, and Hootie, promising to build a working portal. In Demon Realm, Luz tries to share the beauty of her new home with her mom through a video. However, she ends up capturing chaotic moments instead. Meanwhile, Luz, along with her friends Eda and King, discovers information about Rain Whispers, a rebel who is now working for the Emperor Belos. To reach Rain and learn more, they seek the help of Kikimora, who is torn between her loyalty to the Emperor and her desire for freedom. During the Coven Day Parade in Bonesboro, Luz and Eda come up with a plan to rescue Rain. However, when they reach Rain, they face a heartbreaking twist. Rain, now loyal to the Emperor, rejects Eda. Simultaneously, Amity discovers Luz's video and becomes suspicious of Luz's descriptions of the human realm. Luz, Kikimora, and Amity unite their efforts to save Rain, facing challenges from magical creatures like Terra Snapdragon, and the threat of Emperor Belos' Day of Unity. As the Coven Day Parade concludes, Emperor Belos announces that the Day of Unity will be in exactly 1 month when the tide is at its lowest and the moon obscures the sun. Belos decides to take off his mask, revealing his face to the residents of the Boiling Isles. This revelation creates uncertainty for Luz and Amity, and tensions increase in the Demon Realm. Luz and Lilith discover special puddles called time pools that can take them to different times. They decide to find Philip Whitbane, a mage who made a portal to the human realm, hoping he can help Luz with her portal troubles. However, things get tricky when they realize Philip has darker plans. Philip tricks Luz and Lilith into helping him open a mysterious door guarded by a scary beast. The journey becomes a mix of puzzles and dangers, with Luz using her magic skills to overcome challenges. Lilith, with her experience, also becomes a key player. Despite Philip's manipulations, Luz and Lilith manage to escape, bringing back a mix of relief and questions. The plot moves between the past and present, revealing hidden truths and introducing a mysterious character called the Collector. It hints that there's a bigger mystery at play, connecting Luz's challenges with a larger puzzle. In the midst of all this magic, Eda, the Owl Lady, has her own emotional journey as she reunites with her father, Del. As the story continues, the mysteries in the Boiling Isles increase too. In the next episode, Hunter gets a job from Emperor Belos to lead the Coven Heads for a day. He faces challenges with the Coven Heads, especially Darius, who makes fun of him for wearing the old Golden Guard symbol. Hunter decides to prove himself by recruiting new members for the Emperor's Coven. At the same time, Willow starts a flyer derby club at Hexside and faces problems with her old teacher. To save the club, she needs to win a match against her teacher's team. Hunter, undercover at Hexside, sees Willow's skills and decides to help her find new members. The team comes together, including Gus, Scara, and Viney. At first, Hunter doubts their abilities, but Willow convinces him to give them a chance. They win the match, and Hunter reveals he is the Golden Guard. However, trouble follows as the Coven Scouts, led by Darius, capture the team. Darius scolds Hunter but eventually lets them go, acknowledging Hunter's attempt to make friends outside the castle. Luz and Amity investigate a book scam by Tiny Nose. The mystery leads them to discover hidden connections between the human and demon realms. The episode ends with Luz, Amity, and the Emerald Entrails meeting, and the characters are left curious about what will happen next. Moving on to the next episode, Luz Noceda wakes up to an early morning alarm, realizing she has a commitment with her mom later in the day. However, she attempts to distract herself by joining Amity Blight in the Bonesboro Brawl, a magical fighting event. Amity, eager to participate and connect with her father, Alador, faces a problem when he reveals she signed up for the Emperor's Coven Trap on the same night. As Amity seeks Luz's help to ditch the tryout and join the brawl, Luz, in an effort to distract herself from her own issues, decides to participate in the brawl as well. Luz, at times, faces opponents with the help of her newly discovered spells and glyphs. Amity fights to assert her independence and pursue her own desires rather than obey her father's expectations. Luz's allies catch up with her, causing trouble for Amity. The tensions rise when Amity's father, Alador, unexpectedly appears at the brawl venue, revealing that Luz had lied about her involvement with an abomination. Amity faces consequences for defying her father's plans. Meanwhile, Eda and King go on a mission to gather information from Warden Wrath. Eda, in her typical way, devises a plan involving the creation of a blabber serum to extract information from Warden Wrath. As the magical brawl progresses, Amity and Luz find themselves in unexpected situations, and Luz's attempts to distract herself become entangled with Amity's pursuit of personal freedom. Towards the end, there's a moment of connection between Luz and Amity, emphasizing the importance of supporting each other through challenges. Meanwhile, there's a showdown in the brawl venue where Amity defies her father's control and asserts her independence. The chaos leads to an unexpected transformation, and Luz, with her unique abilities, steps in to resolve the situation. The episode concludes with Amity and Luz sharing a touching moment. The next episode begins with Luz attempting to create portal glyphs using Philip Whitbane's diary. Eda tells her about the day she met Rain Whispers. In a flashback, a young Eda is told that she will be expelled from Hexside unless she earns a blue ribbon at the Instructing Future Witches of Tomorrow event. Unwillingly partnered with Rain from Street Epiderm, Eda discovers Rain's struggles to afford tuition. This dude looked like an old man even in his childhood, Throughout IFWOT, Eda and Rain navigate challenges, showcasing their teamwork. The closing ceremony divides participants into Coven Witches and Wild Witches, leading to a chaotic magical brawl. Eda and Rain refuse to fight each other and instead perform an impressive magical dance, earning praise from Terra Snapdragon, the head proctor. However, Terra, dissatisfied with the lack of challenges, cancels the ribbon rewards. Despite this, she promises to speak highly of Eda to Principal Faust. In the present, Eda shares this story with Luz King and her Echo Mouse, who had fallen asleep. Luz had drawn a teenage Eda and Rain in her journal. Meanwhile, Rain, now in the Emperor's castle, receives a message about a draining spell related to the Day of Unity. They express concern for Eda's safety, but resolve to find another solution without endangering her. Luz and Hunter find themselves trapped in Emperor Bello's mind, discovering dark secrets about him. The episode begins with Luz waking up in a corridor decorated with paintings portraying Emperor Bello's winning over wild magic. Hunter accuses Luz of causing their difficulty. The flashback reveals Eda and Luz's encounter with Prim, a former magic item vendor. In Bello's mindscape, Luz and Hunter navigate memories, exposing Bello's manipulation. They witness false stories of wild magic attacks and Bello's rise to power. Kid Bellos guides them through memories, revealing the truth. Dark Bellos, composed of Palisman souls, threatens them. The climax unfolds in a gallery of discarded Golden Guard masks, unveiling Bello's cruelty to Hunter's predecessors. Kid Bellows transforms into an adult Inner Bellows, who confronts Hunter about his betrayal and manipulates Luz with shocking revelations. Hunter gets pulled into the ground, leaving Luz to confront Inner Bellows alone. The episode exposes Bellows as a witch hunter named Philip Whitbane, using the Day of Unity to eliminate magic. Eda struggles to create a return spell at the Owl House, but a mysterious teleportation potion arrives. As Bellows threatens Luz, Hunter reappears, saving her with glyphs. Eda initiates the return spell, bringing Luz and Hunter back to the Owl House. Hunter, aware of Bellows' true nature, panics and runs away. The episode concludes with Luz telling King and Eda about the shocking revelations. In this episode, the Owl House is surrounded by an army of Coven scouts. Kikimora orders the scouts to arrest anyone inside. Inside the Owl House, Eda, Lilith, and Hunter are getting ready for the upcoming battle. Lilith expresses her concern, but Eda is confident. Luz, King, and Hootie return on Salty's ship, and Luz is surprised to see the army outside. Salty suggests going back, but Luz refuses. She's determined to face Bellows and stop the Day of Unity. As the Coven scouts storm the Owl House, Eda, Lilith, Hunter, Luz, and the others prepare for the battle. The house becomes a battleground, and each member of the group showcases their abilities in the fight. During the chaos, Kikimora confronts Lilith, leading to a duel between them. Meanwhile, Hunter faces off against the guard captain, and Eda creates a powerful storm of energy. Luz uses her glyph magic to create spells. During a momentary pause in the battle, Kikimora faces off Luz, expressing her loyalty to Bellows and her dislike for wild magic. Soon, the Coven scouts, overwhelmed by the combined strength of the Owl House residents, begin to retreat. The guard captain orders a strategic withdrawal, acknowledging that the Owl House is a formidable force. As the scouts retreat, Kikimora warns that Bellows won't be stopped. The Owl House residents, despite their victory, realize that the true confrontation with Bellows is yet to come. In the next episode, Hunter reveals that Emperor Bellows plans to merge the human and demon realm using a powerful spell. The students at Hexside are shocked by the revelation. Principal Bump becomes serious and emphasizes the importance of stopping Bellows' plan. He urges the students to unite and resist the Emperor's control. Amity, Willow, and Gus vow to fight against the Emperor's coven. The students, who were once divided by different covens, now face a shared enemy. They realize they need more allies and support from different parts of the Boiling Isles. Bump suggests reaching out to other schools, magical creatures, and rebellious covens to form a resistance against Bellows. The group decides to go on a journey to unite various groups against the common threat. The scene shifts to Eda's Owl House, where Luz, Eda, and Lilith are recovering from the recent battle with the Coven scouts. Luz is worried about the Day of Unity, and Eda reassures her that they'll face it together. Just then, the door bursts open and the Hexside students, led by Amity, Willow, Gus, and Hunter, enter. The reunion is emotional, and they share the information about Bellows' plan. Eda agrees to join forces with the students. The united group sets out to gather allies and prepare for the upcoming battle on the Day of Unity. Moving on to the next episode, King experiences a dream where he hears the Collector expressing excitement for the Day of Unity. However, Luz wakes him up. Returning to the Boiling Isles, they discover that they are now wanted by the Emperor's coven and the Owl House is seized, with Eda and Lilith managing to escape to the Me. Eda and Lilith share their encounter with the Titan Trappers, revealing King's identity as a young Titan. Since they don't have a plan to stop the Day of Unity, Eda decides to send Luz and King to a safe place. Luz, wishing to reclaim King's favorite toy, Francois and King, needing time to think, choose separate tasks. Luz and Eda disguise themselves as Coven scouts and infiltrate Bonesborough to retrieve Francois. Meanwhile, King unexpectedly encounters Steve, a former Coven scout who turned traitor, and they form a connection while exploring the Boiling Isles together. Lilith and Hootie secretly follow them. In the town, Eda overhears a conversation between a guard captain and Rain, hinting at the Emperor's dangerous plans. Simultaneously, King tells Steve about his desire for power and recognition. As evening falls, Lilith and Hootie catch up with King and Steve. Back in Bonesborough, Eda contacts Rain, expressing her concerns for Luz's safety. However, Luz overhears and misunderstands, thinking that Eda is abandoning her. Their argument is cut short when the Coven scouts capture them. Luz is taken to the Emperor, while Eda faces the threat of petrification. However, Rain, Darius, Eberwolf, Amber, Katya, Derwin, Lilith, King, Hootie, and Steve come to the rescue, revealing a plan to prevent the Day of Unity. At their hideout, Eda helps Luz carve her talisman from palestrum wood. Emperor Bellows is getting ready for the Day of Unity. He talks to the Collector. They discuss the human realm, and Bellows watches witches gathering for the Day of Unity. At Blight Industries, there's a lot of preparation for the Day of Unity. Amity and her siblings, along with Luz and her friends, try to stop the production of abominatons. Amity's mom, Odalia, catches them and Amity gets in trouble. Meanwhile, the group plans to mess up Bellows' big spell during the Day of Unity. Eda agrees to be part of the plan, even though it worries her. Luz finishes making her a talisman. Luz and her friends sneak in to save Amity, and she decides to join the fight against Bellows. At the same time, Eda is getting ready to play a big role in stopping Bellows' plan. In another place, King talks to Amity's dad, Alador. They discuss the Day of Unity, and King learns some important truths. The group tries to stop the bad plans at Blight Industries, but Amity's mom, Odalia, figures them out. Amity turns into a powerful creature to break free. Amity's dad also stands against Odalia, revealing the Emperor's betrayal. Everyone rushes to save Luz, realizing she's in danger. But when they find her, they discover that Luz is Hunter. Kikumura actually captured Luz and is now on her way to Bellows with the human. In the final episode of Season 2, King has a dream where he hears Emperor Bellows talking with a Collector. He is not happy and doubts if Bellows will keep his promise to set them free. Bellows assures the Collector that he's trustworthy. King interrupts the conversation and wakes up. Willow, Amity, King, and their friends are on a journey to the head of the Titan to find Luz. Alador questions Hunter's loyalty and arguments break out. Willow suggests a break, and they calm down, enjoying snacks. On the Boiling Isles, all the witches gather for the Day of Unity. Bellows promises to rid the Isles of wild magic. Eda, Lilith, and Rain hide, planning to disrupt the draining spell. Eda, now branded with a Coven sigil, hides her worry. Bellows begins the draining spell, and the witch's magic is drained. Luz fights Bellows in his monster form. She tricks him into shaking hands, branding him with a sigil, planning to stop the draining spell. Bellows turns into a monster and chases Luz. The friends arrive to help Luz, but it's challenging. King learns more about the Collector from Kikumura. Luz's plan to stop Bellows seems to work, but they need the Collector's help. The Collector helps stop the draining spell, but Luz can't leave the demon realm. King decides to stay behind to play a game with the Collector. The friends return to the human realm, leaving Luz behind. In the human realm, Luz reunites with her mom. The Collector's piece left behind closes the door between the realms. In Season 3, Episode 1, King forcefully kicks Luz out of his demon realm with Amity, Gus, Willow, and Hunter. Luz takes her friends to her home, where she meets her mom with tears. They tell her about the stories of how they fought with Bellows and everything, and Luz apologizes to her mother for leaving her alone. Luz tells her mother about her sexuality, and she is dating Amity. Months pass, and October arrives. She goes to school now. But a mishap happens and they get to fight Bellows. Even Luz's mom joins them, but Bellows flees after killing Hunter's bird. After their fight, they feel sad and cry over the death of Flapjack. Ultimately, Luz and her friends return to the demon realm through the same portal that Bellows opened by smashing the vial containing Titan blood, and even Luz's mom decides to join them again. Candela says that it's their duty to send her friends back to their place, and the episode concludes here. In episode 2, it starts with King explaining the rules of Owl House to the Collector, who turns Lilith and Hootie into puppets and sends them to the Archive House. Meanwhile, Eda, in her harpy form, tries to rescue King, but is held back by her curse. Luz wakes up, and everyone returns to the Boiling Isles and sees a lot of change while they were absent. The kids are all dealing with their own worries and struggles. Hunter is still sad about Flapjack's death and has been trying to focus on finding Bellows to distract himself. Amity, Gus, and Willow are worried about their families. Willow tries to act strong for everyone else. Luz in particular is thinking a lot and feels embarrassed about everything that's happened. After a while, they see the Collector and King playing in the empty streets of Bonesborough, while King is just pretending. They find out that most of the people there have been turned into puppets and are being used by the Collector for his games. Shortly after this, Luz finds himself going to Hexside, which is now the new hideaway from the Collector's spies. They acknowledge that the Isles are now transformed by the Collector's influence. They join Bartholomew, Scara, Barkus, and other Hexside students at the school, which has become a safe house from the Collector's control, and Basha is the new leader who's being bossy and cruel. We see the Bellows, who's so weak now that he has to crawl, and the Collector returning to the archives with King and getting welcomed by Odalia, whom he now calls Mamadalia. We also see Eda in a cage with Rain, who's now a puppet. Lilith is with her too, but she's not a puppet, and Hootie is too, who's still a puppet. We also see Kikamura as Basha's assistant, which shocks everyone. Bellows somehow climbs to the Collector's castle, and he possesses the Rain puppet, taking control of its body. He goes to the Collector's room and tells him that King is betraying him. At first, the Collector doesn't believe him, but he listens to King's and Lilith's conversation through magic, and Bellows also tells him that Luz has returned to the demon's realm. Luz, Amity, Camila, and Bartholomew end up in the detention pit by the orders of Basha and are separated from Willow, Gus, and Hunter. After a series of chaotic events, they fight and barely escape the fight after Basha betrays Kikamura, and we also see Hunter, who has now inherited Flapjack's magic. Everyone reunites and laughs while the Collector sees this and is angry about it. The episode ends on a cliffhanger. The next episode starts with everyone being captured by the Collector. Luz, Eda, and King wake up from their unconsciousness and finally reunite. However, the Collector causes huge chaos after making them play his games, and at the end, he becomes tired and frustrated. Upon this, Luz tells him he can't do that forever, and the Collector is almost in tears. Meanwhile, Bellows flies off to his castle after Rain tries to stop him, but he still can't control his body. The Collector opens up about his past, saying that all he wanted was a true loyal friend who'd never betray him like King, Bellows, and his brothers. He says that his brothers betrayed him and killed his Titan friends, and he was happy to have a Titan friend again. He still wants King to be his friend, even if he still pretends to be his friend. Upon this, Luz, Eda, and King encourage the Collector and how they understand him. While in the castle, after using all of his magic, Rain finally kicks Bellows out of his body. He chases him, but somehow he hides and combines himself with the Titan heart of the castle. Now he's a big, powerful mold monster who's just straight up ugly, no cap. Everyone wakes up from their unconsciousness. Luz, Eda, King, and the Collector, who are now roaming around, hear a weird voice and a shiny, illuminating eye and kind of get that it's Bellows. Bellows is molding every place around him and is out of control, trying to kill everyone. The Collector thinks he needs love and goes to him, but he attacks him. Luz saves him by stepping in, and a mold starts growing on her, and she eventually disappears and dies after saying a short goodbye with her spirit flying in the air, and it goes to everyone. At first, everyone couldn't believe that she died, but after that, Eda and King lost control and attacked Bellows. But Luz didn't actually die. She finally wakes up in a liquid and somebody pulls her out of it. He introduces her to King's dad, who has saved her with her spirit. After a whole day in gossip, he gives her his powers, and she returns to Eda, and the Collector is nearing being defeated by Bellows. She's now more powerful, and with the help of Eda and King, she's trying to defeat Bellows through different forms of magic. Ultimately, they go to Bellows' heart to remove him from his hearts so he can be stopped. They finally fight and eject him. After this, the darkness goes away and the places he molded become normal. Bellows gets dissolved by boiling rain and Luz becomes normal again. In the end, nobody dies and everyone reunites. Even those who became puppets are now normal again. I have to say a happy and beautiful ending, or should I say in Homelander's voice, Thank you for watching. If you found this video enjoyable, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Until next time, take care and see you in the next one.